Hi, welcome to the channel today. Today I'm going to be planting onions in a container. It's a little late for, it's really kind of in between. Most people plant the onions earlier or they'll plant them around January 15th. This is December 15th, so I'm kind of splitting the windows on these. And first thing is, this is what I'm going to be putting, since this is a fabric pot, I want something that is a little more, retains a little more water than what I normally do. Normally it's that, 5 parts pine bark mulch, which is the best one I've seen. Sometimes it's a smaller, this is the pine bark that you're seeing in there. It's the smaller chunks. And I do 5 parts of this, 1 part peat moss, 1 part perlite on my plastic ones, but really that doesn't work as well for these fabric pots. And this is what I was growing the ginger in. I'm gonna call it right this time. So what I did, I took some of the Timberline manure compost, cow manure and compost, which is a lot of sand in it, and little bitty rocks and other things. It's not top quality, but it was on sale. And I'm gonna mix these two together. So it's gonna kind of give me a mixture of both. Now I have heard one YouTuber, she just used, I think it's Jera's Garden, and she just uses this straight in her fabric pots. I still don't quite trust it enough. Now, that having that compost in it will give me some fertilizer in it. I still think it needs more. Some people would put some different stuff in it. I don't do a lot of the organic stuff, especially in my containers, but you can if you want to. It's not a problem. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to finish filling this back up. Can you see the bottom of this, son?
Yeah.
Okay. I had a guy doing the cooking show. He kept griping about the cameraman. They were showing what was in the pot. So we're going to fill this up to where we want it. And I've got 2 different kinds of carrots for the way you can do it. I've got here in Texas, we're going to do all the live plants. We're not going to do the little bulbettes. They sell them at the stores, the big box stores. They don't do good down here. I can almost promise you that some of those corporations sell the same stuff all over. So you want to get it pretty tall, because this stuff's going to pack down a little bit. But you want to have some so you can water, and that water won't spill over the side. Then this is going to be, this is from seed, and I used to try to get something to kind of push it up out of it. It's got on the back side of it, it's got a hose, and then you can push them out. Now if it's a tomato plant and it's big enough, you don't have to, you can just pull them out. But stuff that don't have a really good root system, broccoli and stuff of that nature, including onions, but that's the roots. And stick your little hole, dig it about that far in the ground. We're going to space them. Let's see, can I pull them out? No. You should tie something on your sticks, you won't lose it. But I do tend to do that. And you want to put these in about 3 inches apart. And you don't have to dig them real deep. And we'll go out the outside of it first. Remember, these bulbs can get, this big. These are short day onions, which is what you want to grow in Texas, or at least in most of Texas. Because our summers have short days to them. So, and since these are kind of day length type onions, and all onions are that I know of, you don't want to plant the long day onions because they won't start bulbing until June. Well, by then they're going to end up dying on you. But if you're going to be buying them in a store, and these I bought a couple weeks ago, that's what I planted out in the garden. So these have been sitting there. Now I had like 4 different varieties. I told my youngest son, go ahead and plant them, and Patrick, my cameraman. And being kids, or him being a kid, he handed them to him. Well, he just went from the first one and went all the way through it. So we have hardly any of the red ones were actually planted. So I'm gonna plant all these are gonna be red ones. And I should know. And we're gonna kind of see how long it takes, because the problem with growing them like this, they're still alive, they're still viable, but they're in shock. So it's gonna take a while for them to start growing. Where these here, or these on here, they're fully growing. So you could, they're gonna take off right off the bat. These may take a couple of weeks for them to get adjusted, start putting back on roots, come out of the dormancy that they're in. So I'm looking at these others producing much faster. Let's see, I can do it right here, right here, right here. And it's not rocket science. Don't get too, they do need fertilizer. Sometimes people say, because the bigger the tops are, the bigger the bulb's gonna be. So you wanna grow that bulb as big as you can. And they're winter hardy. They take down, when he starts getting down in the teens, you're gonna lose the tops. And they gotta start over again. That happened to me last year. So that is a thing. I thought that was 2. I think it is. I don't know. I'm not going to plant this one because it looks like it's 2. When you have 2 like that, they'll grow 2 separate bulbs, and they don't last as long because you got a weak spot in between. So you want to grow them as singles. And 2 more, I guess. In the middle. So that's how they look like there. Now, next thing you're going to do, and yeah, I'm getting old, I have to grunt when I get up, is I'm going to water them in. I'm going to put fertilizer on them. Now this is Miracle-Gro fertilizer. Rather than having that small one, this is the size that I use. Level off. Normally I would put it in the can first and then add the water to it so to mix it up better, but since I'm showing y'all on the deal, do it like this, and then just soak it in good. That way you get in good contact with the soil. Try to keep it off my boots. And just water it in. Now if any of them come up out of the ground, of course we're going to have to go back and push them back in, but that shouldn't happen. Okay, and to show you how I fill up the can, just so you'll make it, if you're new to gardening, this is how I do it. I take that, sorry getting all drunk, but I take this, put the fertilizer in there, and I keep these containers, the trash cans, and just fill it up like that. That way you're not sticking the hose down there and having to wait forever. Then that fills it up, then I go water. So I do a lot of times take that top off. That's just for speed. I probably should have left it on for this, but and I probably, if you want them to, they're different kind of cans. I mean, I like these cans pretty good. You want a can that you can take the top off of. So if you do want to speed it up, you can. One other thing I will show you with containers. You see this here? This is fire ants. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and poison the fire ants on the outside so it's not going to hurt the root system here. And because you don't want to put most stuff, there is a product called Come and Get It. You can put in containers or in a garden setting, but most of the stuff that you see is not labeled for garden. You know, I could pick it up and move it and then try to use something like 7 Dust to try to kill the top ones, and hopefully the queen's not in here. But for this one, I'll probably just set some stuff out in it. But anyway, if you see that, that's going to be a problem. Fire ants are a problem. There's not really good solutions. The only thing about come and get it, it's a bait. Once you open it up, you need to use the whole thing. And I know at Haas Tools it's $25 for a 1 pound bag. A little expensive, but it is sort of organic. The spinach said that it uses to kill the stuff. It's organic, the bait's not, but it is labeled for vegetable garden. So anyway, that's it for what I was going to show you today, and hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.